Hey folks, my name is Pravus, and welcome to more Millennia, with a new 4X strategy game that is releasing as of today on March 26th, and we are going to continue our campaign for the last couple of videos, because I am guessing you guys would like to see some of the proper late-game content. And hey, I'm right there with you. I'm not being sponsored by Paradox today. This is something I'm doing on my own time because I'm genuinely curious what directions humanity is going to be able to branch off after the age of rocketry, because I believe in this game there is some speculation for what could happen in the 21st century and beyond, and not everything is going to be great for the humans. Now that being said, technically speaking, in the last video, I actually already won the game by converting most of the world to the cult of Pravus within the Age of Harmony, and that was pretty fun. So what we're going to do now is we're going to jump back to 2.16 with the previous save file, just like I said I would, and this is where we're going to change our approach. I'm not going to try to convert the world. I'm going to focus on my scientific advantage, get my economy nice and high with things like the steel, communication tech, maybe also modern military and daily icons, but forget the religious stuff. We're not as worried about that anymore. And we're going to find out what's going to happen. And actually, it looks like I had sent a religious demand to Japan at the beginning of this turn. So they rejected me, which means now I actually can just declare a justified war. And you know what? Screw it. If we're not going to go for proper religious conversion, let's just go crusading instead. That's also fun. Wasn't really expecting to do this, but I mean, conquest is good, and this is a way of me trying to claim some of that petroleum stuff for later. So yeah, sure, why not? Huh, and actually Japan has a fair number of troops they are sending my way. They're throwing everything they got into this. Okay. You know what? Sure, Aztecs. Oh wait, now I'm at war with... I don't care about the Zulu. That's fine. Let's take a look at what they actually did as far as attacking me. So they got a couple of these... What are these, giant crossbows? Oh, these are the upgrades to the catapults. I was expecting trebuchets, but I think because of the age we chose, this is what we get. I should probably go back and research these. At the very least, they're kind of cool. Anyway, so they were able to knock down the walls, but most of this army is dead and or routed. Okay. I would step out and crush them, but then I'll be in non-defensive terrain, and the city is still an advantage to me right now. Ugh, boo. Okay, so we got our modern military. I did want the steel tech, but I am actually just going to go ahead and jump directly to this age of rocketry, while I continue warding off the Japanese. And bless their little heathen hearts, they're trying so hard, but they just can't make any meaningful progress except for burning a couple of mines. Pathetic. Try harder. I could be wrong, but I think we can actually just snag Kyoto right here. Yeah, I actually took down almost all their militia in the walls in the last attack. There we go. All right, half the population has been murdered. And there goes the capital of Japan. You guys want to give up yet? Whoa, they actually were able to snag Delhi from me. Oh, they must have used some forced march abilities. There's no way they deployed all these troops over here this quickly. Yeah, that must be it. They used a lot of that. Okay, well, that's highly irritating. All right, Delhi is easily reclaimed. I also got Nagoya, and I don't think they have any major cities remaining, which means it's not really worth the sheer amount of chaos I'm picking up. This is going to go really crazy here. I think now's the time to offer peace. And I'll probably want to rush some culture and try doing some propaganda to reduce this chaos. Either that, or we just need to spend an absolute ton of money and weather the storm until this kind of naturally goes away. There's really no other alternative. I think no matter what, honestly, this chaos is going to tick up so quickly, we might as well let it tick down. So I'm just going to Eureka my way up into the next age. Which means say goodbye to the Age of Harmony. You all had your chance. Now we're going on to space. So, the space race begins. Build a space center, be the first to set foot on the moon. I shouldn't have a problem with that. New governments and national spirits? Yes. And also international factions by changing governments. Ah, okay, so we're reenacting a bit of a World War II kind of a faction system, you know, democracies versus fascists versus communists, I am assuming. That's exciting. Kind of wish I still had my culture, so I could have done a peaceful revolution. Next time, well, I mean, I guess no matter what, we were going to have the culture. Even if I hadn't done the Eureka, you know, we would have had the culture next turn. I would have had to wait. So I guess it doesn't matter. Still, I am very curious what kind of cool stuff we'll be able to do. Exploration with the Space Agency, warfare for special operations, engineering with modernization, Silicon Valley, the international finance and political science factions, and then, of course, media conglomerate and pop culture. Huh. I mean, honestly, what we pick here, I think, is going to be at least partially determined by what kind of branching ages we've got. Age of visitors, discover that we are not alone. Excuse me? Age of ecology, social fabric tracks half completed. I'm actually shockingly close to that and could get there fairly easily. I would just need to get a stupid amount more engineering XP or some more wild cards that we could spend there and then get tenacity up there too. Yeah, this is actually surprisingly doable. if we wanted to get to the age of ecology. I don't know what that does. And then, of course, there's the standard age of information, which sounds boring. Come on. We want to do one of these two. I'm actually really curious about the age of visitors. Huh. How does one discover this, though? Is that luck-based, or do I just really need to rush that space race and then go a little too far outside the solar system? I mean, for my national spirit, I honestly was probably going to go with something like Silicon Valley, but now I'm kind of curious, and I feel like the space agency might be the right way to go. I don't know. This might be good. Get a space center up and running, space race directives, special research facilities, research initiatives. Okay, you unlock a lot of really cool stuff, including the supersonic laser. Yeah. I think we gotta go down this route. I don't think it's necessarily what I was going to do, but I think it works. Let's do it. And if that's the case, rocketry needs to be my first tech. I will continue making some investments in the social fabric, though. Just in case it turns out, for whatever reason, I cannot spawn some sort of alien life forms, I'd rather go ahead and get into the age of ecology than into the age of information. Start terraforming the planet. There's a lot that I need to build in my cities, by the way. It sort of feels like once you get to that age, you know, age 7 around the age of harmony and stuff, you'll start researching stuff with so many buildings that even in a fairly high production city, which mine does have 90 production right now, it's nowhere near enough. I can't keep up with the stuff that I've been unlocking. Japan rejects peace. Really? What an unusual decision, given that I now have access to things like assault rifles. You fools. So let's see, what's this tutorial here? During this age, you can reform to a more modern government. Adopting any government from this age makes you a member of a faction, and all other nations of the same government will be members of said faction. So I guess this is a way of kind of forcing yourself into being in alliance with your neighbors if they both kind of choose the same factions, right? So if you're really worried about getting into war and people are possibly going to mess you up, you could just convert to their ideology, and that might work. Now, if we join a faction, the need for ideology starts to go up. So just like with religion, in fact, and probably in supplanting religion in a lot of ways, this is going to become a new population need for us. So new buildings, propaganda, and so on, that's going to be key. Here's our first round of chaos. We knew that was going to happen. No, we're just going to go ahead and pay off the money. That reduces my chaos substantially. Now we're only down to 16 per turn. Much better. Well, let's go ahead and get that peaceful revolution up and a-running. So we're going to change to what? Fundamentalist democracy and communist. Interesting. They didn't want to go down that route, huh? Okay. So forget luxury items as a communist, which makes sense. Instead, you get boosts in production and ideology. Might want this, to be honest. I don't really care as much about the luxuries I'm producing. I would really like to be able to build things a lot faster. That said, democracy, defenses, and efficiencies get lots of knowledge, or fundamentalists get awesome benefits if you can be the dominant world religion. I mean, I feel like just as a rule, this kind of works for the playthrough I've already done, even though I think communist might be better. Let's go down fundamentalist. So, we'll build the Sacred Palace and the faction headquarters. I've also got a lot of government XP coming in per turn, so like we can do a lot of things. I can get even more here, actually. Holy crud. 1 government XP for every 10 religious pops of our state religion. That should be 0 problems. Let's go ahead and pick that sucker up. It says we're making 19 per turn right now. I don't believe this for a second. It's gonna go way up. So what does the Sacred Palace do for us, out of curiosity? Unrest suppression, more government XP, more religion, and more government XP from regional adoption of your state religion. So yeah, if you want to get an absolute ton of government XP, this is the way to go. I guess I might as well do that in my capital, sure. Japan, are you ready to give up yet? I know you've got 1 good city left, but you are so far behind me. Just be done with this and get the frick away from Delhi. I'm sick of protecting this city. Finally, they agree. Okay, so after you lost 3 of your cities and you're down to only 4 remaining, we're good to go. I kind of wish that there was an option to raise cities in this game. As far as I know, there's not. Because like Yokohama, for example, kind of a weak city. I don't really care to keep this at all. Wasn't worth the chaos. But that's not an option for us. A new innovation, the Neo-Religious Ode? What does this do? The Performing Arts Center gets me more religion. We're very, very good at producing religion, all right? I get it. The Cult of Pravus is extremely influential and very persuasive. How much government XP am I getting per turn? Only 19? That still doesn't feel right. Huh. Oh, I misread this. I thought we got this bonus straight up. No, it's only for when we build the Sacred Palace. My mistake, my mistake, my mistake. Okay, so yeah, we need to actually build this sacred palace everywhere. That's going to take a very, very long time to do. I just realized I have to reintegrate Delhi after it's been taken. I mean, that makes sense. That's also really annoying. Hey! Anyway, rocketry is done, so we could start working on the space race stuff now. I'd be tempted to get things like wind farms, but to be honest, a tile improvement that cost me specialists for only 3 power doesn't feel that great. And these tiles are like really precious. I am loath to give them away for no good reason. Let's try working on heavy machinery next, see if we can get some more production boosts, because that's going to be important for us. And as far as rushing culture powers, oh, interesting, we lost a couple of options up here. Do we want a Eureka or something else? I mean, again, I think that the chaos is kind of going to be its own thing, whether I like it or not, so that's not going to help me. Yeah, I think it's just more Eurekas. Just go ahead and keep knocking off like 3 or 4 turns of research. So, how are we building up our ideology, out of curiosity? So right now, it looks like the points are slowly going up based on who is generating ideology, so getting these buildings up is important. Get it to a certain level, you unlocked the Tract Publisher. Convert paper into religious tracts. Okay, I'm sure this is different for every different type of ideology. Then eventually you get to an educational improvement, and finally into secularism pressure goes down. So we're more likely to just have people stay religious. Got it. Okay, this actually kind of reminds me a little bit of the, what is it, the coalition, the alliance? No, what is the official term? Federation, that's it. The Federation system in Stellaris, where the different members start generating kind of XP for the Federation, and as it gets stronger, it unlocks new benefits. Finish with the heavy machinery tech, which means a lot of upgrades are on the way. Probably work toward things like computing next. That would make sense. And then after that, what? Logistics for helicopters, not to mention larger armies, car manufacturers, airlift is an option. Go for bombers, paratroopers. Yeah, that'd be good in war. Commercial industry could get me probably a lot of ideology. And then enterprise, I imagine, would get a lot of, like, money and stuff. Okay. But the thing is, like, we're plugging through this era so quickly, I haven't even started the dang space race. So we can't do that. Money would be helpful, though. It would be very nice to be able to start rushing a lot more of these structures. Oy vey. All right, let's go ahead and build up the space race. And actually, just for the sake of it, I'm going to spend 7,000 gold and just rush it immediately. I don't know if that's what I need to do, but now it's done. We've unlocked the space race. So what do we do in the space race? Okay, we need to fund a space exploration agency, and that needs to be a directive. Mission chance goes up. Okay, so hang on. We're about to do a bunch... Oh, I see. So we're going to be launching rockets, and depending on what we are willing to spend, we can increase the chances of success. Okay, that's all great. Let's go to the space agency and go ahead and do a bonus to directive so we can have more of these. Been holding on to my XP for that exact reason. And now I can spend money, plus some of these other things, get a 90% chance of success. Let's do a launch. 3, 2, 1, go boom, says the rocket. Okay, so we have launched Sputnik. Okay, that is stage 1. We are the first to complete. We get 100 culture as a result. Yeah, actually, you know, I think people underestimate how impactful the space race really was in American, probably also Soviet too, but I assume mostly American culture. That competition was a big frickin' deal. Anyway, we're gonna go to the stage 2 in a little bit next turn, exploratory probes. Let's go back to our fundamentalism over here. We could start boosting up our exploration XP, and as long as our regions have more than half the population religious, and they are, we'll get a lot of extra exploration XP, which lets me rush down the space race. I like the idea of the Ministry of Industry to get engineering XP. I am pretty bad at making this as a rule, and the warfare XP could be nice too, but yeah, all this is good. Denounce heathens. Okay, reduce relationship with a nation, get a small amount of every domain XP, so the more we denounce people, the better. Cultural revolution, reduce unrest, and get some XP, not worried about that, and there's a secularism pressure that goes down as well. Okay, all of these are good as far as generating XP. That is the whole point of taking fundamentalism, apparently. It makes you very experienced in every different axis. But only if you are extremely religious, which we are, so I'm not worried about it. So what do we do for the exploratory probes? Well, we could go ahead and hire more people, invest some XP, and then there's other options here as far as trying for a heliocentric probe unit, which does what exactly? What's the benefit? There is a benefit. I'm positive on this. We saw this with the last one, but I actually don't see it popping up here, so it's not clear to me why I would want to do this. That said, attempt solar system escape velocity? Ooh. Is this how we discover that we're not alone? We send something out past the solar system? How do you do it? You know something? We're gonna try. I am going to attempt a solar system escape velocity. 60% chance. Here's hoping. Great success. Yes, there we go. Our probes are sending back lots of useful data and our national pride is higher than ever. Hooray! All right, we've launched beyond the solar system. Hopefully that also is worth something to me. And how much government XP are we making now? Okay, we're up to 36 per turn, and that's after just a couple more of those sacred palaces are built, like 2 or 3 of them. So we're still gonna be making more. I'm about to start rolling in so much government XP, it's ridiculous. We should also go through to all of our docks and upgrade the harbors into marinas, or marinas. It gets me even more exploration XP when they are worked, and we are getting a lot of it, good lord. Okay. Yeah, the ocean tiles are actually pretty good. Fish in particular, by the way, is great. You get like 5 food for every one of these things worked. That's better than any wheat tile you can work, at least at the start of the game. It's great. Are we ready to do some testing with humans in space? I feel like the answer is probably yes. Is there any reason? Okay, so here you actually can see what the rewards would be if you did this. It actually does say now that if we did this with a minus 20% chance, we get 50 exploration XP. So that is why you take some of the risks. I'm not sure why on the last stage it didn't tell me what my reward would be, but there we go. All right, so 85% chance. Whee! I'm doing a little space rock. There we go. Come on, dab, man. Dab. Dab in space. Last stage is humans on the moon. Really, you could do all of this within 4 turns. The space race is really fast if you can get that unlocked before anyone else does. One small little thing, by the way, that I wish was improved in this game. Hills? I feel like they're kind of useless. Like, if you have a lot of hills, the only thing you can do with them is, like, blast quarries and mines. Maybe later on you could place windmills on them, that would make sense. But, like, it feels like for so much of the game, hills are kind of one of the least useful tiles in the game. You want to have lots of forests, lots of grasslands. Heck, I'd even take some shrublands over hills, because at least on shrublands, I can build civic buildings and stuff, right? I don't know, I feel like this needs to be rebalanced a little bit. When I see a lot of hills, I'm like, oh no, restart. All right, last space race. Oh gosh, okay, this is gonna be very hard to increase my chances of success. Once again, it looks like I mostly get either knowledge or XP if I take risks. This is actually a pretty big one, 30 innovation, that's huge. I need specialists. I think I'm gonna hold off on this stage, because that 20% is kind of a big deal. I mean, I could take the risk, I could do this, but then I only have like a 40% chance of success, because I actually do want that innovation, that's huge. We could do this, I mean, really, but, I don't know. I think I'd rather go to the space agency. Let's go ahead and do the National Aerospace Research Facility, which greatly increases my chance of success, plus gets me some more passive innovation, and we'll just wait until we have a little bit more to work with, get some specialists, try that again. And one thing that might actually help with some of this, you know what, I think it's time to revive the Olympic Games. Let's do that. Oh good, we get a lot of XP, and a lot of money, and a lot of science. I like it. Unfortunately, I cannot become a more tolerant society. I may be fundamentalist, but I am extremely tolerant as long as you accept my views. What next? I think we'll go ahead and take commercial industry here. That should be probably fine, question mark? Get as much ideology going as possible. I want fundamentalism to become extremely powerful. I did pick up the next round of research here with fundamentalism, so now we're getting engineering XP, by the way. Which boosts me up to making 21 engineering per turn. That's an extra 10 per turn that I didn't have. Which makes sense, I control 5 regions right now until I reintegrate Delhi. Which I guess, it's gonna be a little while before we can do that. Let's just go ahead and spawn like an envoy and try to help integrate the vassal a little bit faster. There we go, that helps a tiny bit. And now we should have everything we need to go for a better chance for a moon landing, and I definitely want to televise this. Here's hoping for great success. Yes! We have planted Rome's flag on the moon. Wow, that animation quality, though. One giant leap for mankind, and for Rome. 200 culture. Unlock the SETI radio scan exploration culture power. Okay. Well, we have access to that right now. What does this do exactly? It's gonna get me potentially a lot of knowledge and maybe something else too. Uh-oh. All right, well, it's the exact same amount of knowledge, so this is really something you only want to do, I guess, if you want a chance of maybe some good things, or maybe we find out there are aliens. A non-organic repeating pattern has emerged. We should repeat it back. We are locked into the age of visitors. Oh, we're gonna find the aliens. We're gonna find the aliens! And this actually comes at a hilarious time because we're ready to go ahead and move on to the age of visitors right now. Now, I'm not gonna do this exactly this second. First, I'm gonna be picking up something else like maybe, I don't know, aerial warfare or something. I got a bad feeling that we're gonna get to do a bit of warfare, and I'm gonna wish I had more modernized militaries. Let's go ahead and reduce our secularism pressure in our nation. I want to make sure that people stay nice and happy and religious. And there's our innovation. Consumerism. Extra ideology from cars. Useless. I'm not building any cars because I don't have, like, any meaningful amount of steel. I can't believe I'm doing this, but I gotta take the money. Ugh. All right, you know what? Forget aerial warfare for a little bit. Let's go ahead and move on. Let's go ahead and lock in the age of visitors. I want to know what's going to happen. I want to make a completely wild guess, by the way, that maybe, just maybe, getting surface-to-air missiles would be good. You know, if there are going to be aliens and stuff. Let's get the Reformation for fundamentalism. That extra culture is always nice. The innovation's nice. Though, honestly, the main reason you pick that up is so you can do things like peaceful revolutions later. Is there going to be another government form in this game? I mean, we're what? We're in age 8 now? Or whatever? We're heading to, like, age 9? How many more ages are there? I probably should know the answer to that, but I'll be honest, I don't. I'm learning a lot as I go. So I think we're now moving on into the... Oh, the sky just turned red. So we're definitely in a crisis age now. Hold on. What's about to happen? Yes, yes, you can blame Rome for what's about to happen. There we go, Age of Visitors. Aliens have invaded the Earth. Motherships have appeared in each region, destroying its surroundings and spawning invaders. They want to destroy my goods tiles and turn them into deserts? Destroy the motherships with your air force, salvage the wreckage to get alien technology. I don't have an air force, so this is bad. Also, regions have a need for information, and the final age approaches. Right. Okay, so there's aliens everywhere. This is good. Oh yeah, there it is. That's a mothership right there. Hello, mothership. They're about to desertify the entire planet, aren't they? Holy crud. Okay, hang on. Question. Can I bribe them? Wait, yes? Oh, frick me, I can bribe the ships. Diplomacy is amazing! I like how the music has changed to have kind of that little alien warble, by the way. I think that's very funny. Very good. Right, so I guess we're gonna go ahead and just start killing some aliens then. How strong are these aliens, out of curiosity? Pew, pew, pew. Okay, not strong enough. My infantry can deal with them. This is not Mars attacks. Good. Let's launch a space expedition. Maybe we can learn a few new things. I'm gonna find out what these new rewards are. Alien technology, there we go. Offer asylum, so long as they pledge themselves to my nation. Huh? Hold on, wait a minute. I get alien invader units? Ooh. Sure enough, I get aliens. Fight fire with fire, I say. By the way, Japan, can we just cease these hostilities and stuff? Because, like, now is really not the time to be blocking my armies off, okay? So I actually can't deal with these motherships because they are flying units. Okay. They also delete the hills, apparently. The hill is gone. It's now just a straight, flat desert tile. Got it. Yeah, okay. So, we could build an air force. The easiest thing to do is just start raking in the extra diplomacy XP. I used to make a ton of this. Now I've only got 23 per turn. That's not nearly good enough. Well, what are our technology options in the Age of Visitors? Oh my. Some of these techs look really fun. Human relations, alien cloning pods, duplicators, fabricators, Area 51, La Bomba, warfare domain, harm units in a region. Ooh, okay. We can get elite task forces. Uh-huh, we're gonna get XCOM, boys. High energy weapons, resistance, stellar energy, information, and global networks. Well, unfortunately, I do need to get information and stuff in my capital at the very least. That is something they are currently demanding. What are my options as far as new ages? Okay, we actually have a bunch of special ones now. Nothing normal. We have the Age of Transcendence. Finish some social fabric tracks and we ascend into the Jedi Council, from what I can tell. The Age of Archangels. Build a smart grid of super lasers. Warfare in space? That sounds fun. Age of Departure, we say, nope, we're out, thank you. And then there's the Age of Singularity. Crisis charges. AI Singularity 30. How the frickin' heck do I trigger an AI Singularity? Well, I do feel like I need to get some high-energy weapons just so I can get some upgrades to my planes, get something that actually will work against them. I mean, yeah, we could bump back to, like, aerial warfare, but it's still 5 turns either way. So why not just get the advanced stuff, yeah? I feel like the Transcendence victory is 100% something we can and probably will end up doing. Depends on if I can find that AI singularity and stuff. I don't really know what triggers stuff like... I guess the Age of Departure just happens automatically. So what's the smart grid then? How do I get this? It's from the stellar energy. Okay, so we can do this. We could build 5... What is this? Smart grid buildings. There we go. Build up region level, get power and such. So do we go for an Age of Archangels or do we go for an Age of Transcendence? Oh, man. This one fits better with my kind of semi-religious theme, right? We just ascend as a people, but this one looks cool. I am glad that I built surface-to-air missiles in most locations. Unfortunately, it doesn't actually do any damage to the mothership. So I assume if they attack me, they're likely to get shot at, but other than that, no. A lot of our territory is about to turn into terrible deserts. Oh boy, this is going to absolutely wreck my economy. It looks to me, though, like the motherships, what they do is just spawn aliens. They don't do a lot themselves. I hope that's true. If that's the case, then as long as I keep some armies nearby, we could probably deal with these. Also, that should take care of my second social fabric. We are now very tolerant and very community-focused. So the Age of Transcendence is 100% an option for me. Can't believe we're having aliens attack in, like, 1871. Like, I've barely got biplanes, guys. And then we have to deal with frickin' aliens? We could build the International Space Station. I do feel mildly bad for all the other players in the game, by the way, because I'm pretty sure that I just screwed them over just as much. I mean, every single region in the game has an alien mothership. You think the AI can handle this? They have no idea what an airplane is. Hey, Greece, you want to build that International Space Station now? Would that be a good idea? I think so. Knowledge, innovation, and stuff. Let's make each other like each other. Yeah, you know? Let's just go ahead and deal with these aliens together. Yep, they agree. Perfect. More innovation for us. And let's get some stuff upgraded into low-orbit interceptors. Okay, we've now got the best possible planes. Very good against aliens, too. Can they attack? No? How do you destroy things with an air force exactly? How do I use my planes to destroy a mothership? Honestly, I haven't got a freaking clue, but hopefully we will figure it out. Maybe get some bombers and stuff. That could be good. All right, let's see. Resistance, more task forces, human relations. It would be nice to be able to start cloning people, get more food, housing, and so on, but I think I'm going to go for the stellar energy just to unlock the smart grid. Curious what it's going to do for us. Maybe nothing, but I'd like options. Let's rush myself a couple of these bombers. I don't know if it's going to work. Photon submarines, railgun tanks. These look kind of sweet. And then let's see what these bombers can do. So we can attack this right here. So if I want to go boom, 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 what's involved in destroying this? We do a lot of, we do a little damage. We take none in return. That's all this is? Oh God, this is going to take forever. What if I took one plane and moved it to, let's say, Ravenna, and then the other plane and moved it to Nicomedia, and then kind of have a joint task force of a bomber and a jet together? Can they then attack? So let's find out. Is it just gonna be one bomber? Actually, it looks like they reinforce each other, which is interesting. So hold on. Both attack and... no. So the low orbit interceptor does nothing. This doesn't feel right. I feel like I must be missing something here, because otherwise, the amount of bombers you need to take down a single mothership is going to be ridiculous. This is going to be, like, really hard to fight. I mean, at least I'm really good at killing the individual foot soldiers. You know, that's a thing. So it's not like the motherships are a huge threat. Well, I guess we'll just slowly chip away at these. What would make some sense to me is if, these reinforced armies attacking the mothership in some way. Which I don't think that's how it works, but let's just check. If I were to attack, do I get assistance? No, I do not get any reinforcements there. And the amount of damage we do is absolutely inconsequential. I don't like this, because it means that I have to rely on my diplomacy right now to get rid of these things. Every 4 turns, I can remove one mothership. That's way better than what everyone else is currently having to deal with, but it still doesn't feel good enough for me. Well, I'll just keep building some more bombers, I guess. Sooner or later, we will deal with these things. And, like, I see that my fighters are coming in to reinforce. From an animation perspective, I see them doing it, and yet they're doing absolutely nothing to actually help me. What is the point of having this interception? I am missing something, I can tell. Is one of these new elite task units considered to be anti-air? Got line infantry, ranged infantry. None of that says clearly to me that this is considered to be anti-air. Well, I guess we'll pick up resistance next, so we have bonus attack against the aliens. Also, anytime they steal anything from me, we get some modern machine guns to fight back, plus more at ideology. Look, if there's ever a need for fundamentalism, it's when you realize that the aliens are here and they're taking your stuff. Call me xenophobic, but I think in this case it might be slightly warranted. Well, I'm going to go ahead and evacuate a couple of these planes over here, because I think we are about to take down a mothership. And there's apparently a chance that it's going to explode and take things with it, right? So why take that sort of a stupid risk? It doesn't make any sense. Say goodbye. Boom! All right, that's one mothership down, and it did not blow anything up around it. Cool. The smart grids are really fast to build, by the way. It just takes your regular power grid, and if you upgrade it by like one turn, that's all it takes. Boom. A little bit of extra power. Not much, though. Another innovation, laser energy weapons. More attack for all combat units. That can only be good. I'm going to keep launching space expeditions, by the way. I'm farming out so much innovation right now, it's just amazing. I'm getting a little annoyed having to fight these with bombers, though, because every single time I do an attack, whether I like it or not, I have to watch this animation and close out of it. That is needlessly tedious. Please don't make me do this. Okay, one more technology for us. I don't think I need the elite task force. I don't really know if I care about Area 51, if I'm honest. Human relations, I could see that being good for me. Digital libraries, supercomputers, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe? I think we need the information. We really need to have this. And we should be taking out some more of these motherships right about now. That's great. Looks like aliens, once they get into the water, don't know how to get out of it, which I think is kind of funny. And unless I'm much mistaken, I think we only have one remaining mothership in my territory, and that's up over here by Nagoya. So if we can just bring all the bombers, we can probably take this thing down pretty quick. Perfect. Maybe if I host some more Olympic Games, I can get a bunch of diplomacy XP. Yes, I can! There we go. That's actually all that I need. Thank you. Let's go ahead and just get rid of them. Bye-bye, motherships. All right. At least in my side of the Pangean continent, the aliens have been dealt with. I don't know how the rest of y'all are doing, but I'm guessing not very well. So can we think of any reason not to just go ahead and move directly into the next age? And if that's the case, which one do I want? Because I can do literally any of them. I didn't trigger the singularity, like, at all. I have no idea how you're supposed to do this, but I feel like of all the options, the Age of Transcendency is probably the most RP correct. So I'm gonna go down this route, and hopefully this was the right call. Out of curiosity, if I do more radio scans, that was what brought us the aliens in the first place. Does anything else happen? No. Okay, we just get science and nothing else. Okay, I was curious if maybe we could get a whole second reward, but it appears that is not the case. How's my ideology doing, by the way? We are still only at 1,000. Yeah, if you don't have a lot of people actively contributing to your faction, it seems like it's really hard to build it up. Let me go ahead and annex Texcoco into the Empire. I feel like I might as well do that. We're reaching, kind of the less fun part of all 4X games to me, the end game. Which basically means we've reached the point where there's so many actions that all need to take place at the same time that every turn just takes a much longer time to process. That is a universal problem in my experience. It is not unique to this game whatsoever. And you know something? I talked a little bit about hills and stuff before. I would also like something to do with mountain tiles. I don't know what. Ski resorts, you know, like they have in Civ, windmills, anything along those lines. That could be kind of fun. Okay, in 1853, thanks to the efforts of Rome, it does appear that all the aliens automatically retreat once the crisis age is over, which moves us into the Age of Transcendence. It's now or never. Generate swaths of domain XP and social fabric points. Improve your nation through mutually beneficial diplomacy. Unrest gained from war is 5 times greater. Be the first to complete all 6 social fabric tracks. That's what I'm trying to do? Really? Okay, so it's like the Age of Ecology, but worse. Boring. I mean, I'm not that far off. The big problem is warfare XP, actually. Because if I'm unable to go to war with people without creating massive amounts of unrest, how am I going to generate a lot of this, right? The others won't be so bad, though. I can go to exploration and start working on insight and stuff. That's no biggie. Well, I'll tell you what. This is where the Olympic Games are going to come in beautifully for me. Let's go ahead and get probably anything with Warfare XP would be a good idea. The problem is it takes 400 XP for each one of these levels now, which hurts. On the other hand, the Age of Transcendence appears to give you technologies that just straight out give you extra... Oh, wow. Hold on. It just gives me 4 extra social fabric tenacity. Straight up. Oh, well, I'm like 3 techs away from winning the game then. Well, knowing this is the case, literally anything that gives me warfare, engineering, and exploration XP has to be the priority. Or, better yet, social wild cards. Those Baroque theaters have really come in handy. Greece wants me to adopt their religion. Are you insane? Frick you. And you know, I just love how apparently, as soon as the aliens are gone, everyone's back to declaring hostility against me because they know I'm about to win the game. Y'all just jealous. All right, I may have brought the aliens, but I got rid of mine. What's your excuse? I like that it's literally impossible for me to annex another city, by the way. They all cost 428. See, I think I actually saw a recommendation in a Discord from the Spiffing Brit, which I actually really agree with. Have the cost of things go up, but then slowly start going back down, so you don't feel like it's impossible to do certain things with, let's say, your art and your diplomacy. Or in this case, annexing city. It's okay for it to be expensive, especially the more you do it in close succession, but over time, if it starts coming down, you feel like this XP still has a use. As it is, I will literally have no use for government XP for the rest of the game. All right, for each region without unrest, you are awarded 4 social fabric tenacity. Each region without unrest? Huh. Well, it amounted to me ultimately getting 4 more levels here, so that's phenomenal. Let's go ahead and rush the culture. We're going to go ahead and host some more Olympic Games. We could probably have to take this option, which lets me get more exploration, so we're 1 more level there. And I'm getting a lot closer on engineering. I think engineering might end up being the thing that slows me down here, too. Because I don't know if I've ever seen a Olympic game get me this. That said, I should be, I assume, only 1 research away from getting this finished. So in 6 turns, this will be done. In 10 turns, we'll have exploration done. And in less than that, we're going to have warfare done. Okay, we're actually really close. Not to mention, I can get innovations that just straight out give me free XP now. That's beautiful. And I don't mind just building some marinas all along the coast, which is going to get me a lot more exploration XP. There's my social fabric ingenuity from technology. We even get 2 more social fabric wildcards, which is hilarious from innovation because I don't need that. Because just like this, I've now got everything I need for my exploration and my warfare XP. We officially have 10 across the board with points to spare. And for good measure, I'm going to host 1 more Olympic game, just so I can rub it in everyone's face. Byzantium ended up with 40 population, which feels really good, and we win the game again! There we go. We have transcended beyond our simple human ways. We are now a super species. This feels like a setup for Stellaris, if I'm completely honest, but boom. Our violent past is gone, as Rome. That says something. Well, that was a very fast and actually fairly unengaging last age. I didn't realize we were going to be that close to success already. It's good to know, though, that investing in your social XP is a completely viable way to win the game toward the end of things. If you can. Not always. I mean, it depends on what other players do, but that is a viable way of pursuing the game. And I'm very pleased that we were able to take a special age at every step in this game. So we went from ages of myths and heroes to ages of great, well, discovery around other forms of myths and lost cities of gold to, you know, an age of harmony and religious unity to a bunch of aliens invading and eventually transcending humanity into a super species that is ready to, I don't know, maybe ascend into energy beings or something someday. I have no idea. But our technology was looking phenomenal. Yeah, pretty cool. I really love the age system of this game. I love that it can take branching paths. It's one of those things, I didn't really know how badly I wanted that in a 4X game until I played Millennia. And it's like, why is this not a standard feature for so many other Earth-based history games? Like, this could actually be really, really fun. And I actually like the production chain aspect of these cities. Way too many times I get focused just on like little modifiers, you know, like in Civ 6, I'm placing down a district, I'm trying to get every extra little bit of a hammer in one single tile, blah, blah, blah. But this one I actually have to think, all right, every tile is precious, not necessarily for the terrain around it, though that does matter, but also so I know how to process and refine it. I think the production chains are a great feature. in Millennia. There's really a couple of great things here that is so worth playing this game just to experience that, and then you'll realize you don't ever want to go back. Obviously, there are some downsides to this game, the art style is being one of the big ones. I think that diplomacy is needlessly simplistic. I actually think religion is not very interesting or fun unless you specifically build around it like we did, and that made it more enjoyable, but I think that's something that could be worked in pretty much by default. I think that moving units around the world just takes a little bit too long. It's going to make warfare very boring. I don't like the action that goes between units, right? There's a few things in this game that I would change, but the funny thing is, at the end of the day, those are all the easiest things to update. The mechanics, the meat of this game is sound. And if they could just continue building upon what they've already created as a foundation of Millennia, I really think this could be a phenomenal game. And even if this game doesn't go any further, I really hope that other 4X games take note of what Millennia has innovated and find ways to put that into their own games, because I really think this could push the genre forward a bit. Anyway, that's where I'm going to end things today. I really hope you all enjoyed this. I'm glad we got to see some endgame content. If you enjoyed this video, of course, I would ask that you hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe if you have not already, and as always, we'll see you guys next time.